Can you pick yourself up, your teammates up, and get them ready for game 3?
Finds it to the Kupo. Once again in the slam. Chris Middleton to start. Tetakupo and Middleton have all 30 of the points in the first quarter. Durant finds some space, knocks it down. Durant fires a three. Bang! Holiday spin move, gets inside, layups, go!
Win is a win. Doesn't matter if you win by 30, doesn't matter if you win by 1. You can go back home and celebrate W. It was good.
Let's go. This afternoon, Game 4, Nets and Bucks. Bucks won Game 3, but only scored 86 points in each of the last 2 games. That's after scoring 100-plus in their first 5 playoff games. James Harden out for a 3rd straight game with a hamstring injury, but Kevin Durant is picking up the slack in a big way, averaging nearly 32 points a game in the playoffs. And the Nets will look to take a 3-1 series lead. The Nets, by the way, have never lost the best-of-7 series with a 3-1 lead, and the Bucks have never won a series trailing 3-1. For more, let's bring in our NBA analyst. Oh, that's not Monica McNutt. That's Charles Barkley. What's up, Charles Barkley? How you doing?
Wait, what a second. Charles is on the show today?
Yeah, he's right there. You see him?
You're kidding?
He's right there.
Charles, it's a big anniversary, Charles.
Well, here's a big day for you.
Oh,
Jay asked me to come on and say some nice things to you, Hannah. Hey, happy birthday, girl.
Oh, yeah, I'm
surprise.
Thank you. Oh, I love you. I love you. And hey, Charles, do you remember many years ago, it was like an incredible birthday for me because we were at Chicago Stadium and it was a triple overtime game. Phoenix Suns beating the Chicago Bulls. I mean, what do you remember about that day?
It was one of the coolest games I've ever played in. Because they already were boarding up the city and everything, thought we were going to get swept. So it was a very special day. I'm not going to lie.
And remind people what you said afterwards in your post game about saving the city.
Yeah, I said we're going to save the city. We're going to save the city. Hey, Hannah, we had to listen to that all day about don't destroy the city. The city's boarded up everywhere.
Right.
By the time the game started, we said there's no way we're going to lose this game.
Oh my gosh, there is a picture they're showing on the screen. I don't know if you ever turned video of me, you,
Look
and
at that
KJ.
hair.
Well,
not on Charles, but
Charles,
on you.
You look great. You still look great. But that was, I just remember and back in the day, and Charles, now you're on the other side, you're on the media side, but I was literally right there on the bench, right? I mean, we would talk. I remember talking to Cedric Ceballos, the entire game. We could hear
just
everything.
Wow.
Right, Charles?
Well, first of all, because you were beautiful, we like talking to you sitting beside the bench. If somebody was like Jay or Stephen A was there, we wouldn't talk to them.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I'm not mad at that. I totally get it.
Oh, my gosh. So, Charles, I mean, you remember how special that time was, and Phoenix was just absolutely rocking. It was such a blast. That obviously was a win at the old Chicago Stadium. It was so fun being there, playing in those games in that era. I mean, what does it mean to you now to see the Suns and what this franchise is doing?
Well, I'm very proud of Chris and Book and DeAndre and Money and all those guys. Hannah, the reason I live in Phoenix, they have the best fan base in the NBA. Win or lose, they're going to love you. Now you're winning. It's just a raucous place. I'm really happy for those guys. And, man, it's so much fun. And I think they're going to wrap it up tonight. I truly believe that.
You do. All right. Going for the sweep. What does it take? What does it take to win a triple overtime game in the finals?
Oh, it takes a lot of breaks, because, in triple overtime, obviously there's one or two plays, maybe just one play could go one way or the other. Number one in regulation, but also in every overtime, there's one play or another can win it or lose it. There was so many back and forth in those games. It was stressful. But obviously we won, but man, it was stressful because, we lose that game, we're going to get swept more than likely.
Have you and MJ ever talked about it?
I never want to talk about that series ever again. Ever.
I mean,
I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes thinking about what could I have done differently.
oh man, Charles, I mean, here you are being nice, coming on for my birthday, and we're reminding you about that, but that was really that was really, really special, and you brought so much joy, to the fans at Phoenix and all of us, and you still do as a broadcaster, and
Absolutely.
know that Jay and I absolutely love you with all our hearts, so sending you big love.
Jay asked me to come on for your special day. Listen, I'm so proud of your success. You've been amazing. You had an amazing career. And Jay, I love you like a brother. But Hannah, this is just about your special day. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, Charles. I love you. Bye.
Men in the octagon. Good morning.
Giancarlo there.
SportsCenter AM, Nicole Briscoe and Randy Scott alongside. UFC 263 delivered and then some out in the desert in Arizona. We're going to start, though, with a fight. Yeah, in the NBA.
I think there's a theme, a bit of a trend developing in this series between the Jazz and the Clippers.
LA goes as Kawhi Leonard and Paul George go, and Donovan Mitchell's injury status is something to keep an eye on. That trend continued in Game 3. We're in Los Angeles. You see the stats. The Jazz have won every series where they've led 2-0, but Ty Lue has won 60% of the series where he's been down as a coach 0-2, and he needs Paul George. We're in the second quarter. George knocking down a triple. Donovan Mitchell will come right back after a scoreless first, a decidedly not scoreless second quarter for Spider Mitchell. Mitchell, another three. He had 16 points in the second quarter, missed his first 4 shots, and then scored Utah's next 16 straight points. Here, though, relieved of the basketball, it's Kawhi Leonard back the other way. Ty Lue calling him 2 of the best in the game. Said, I don't go to Mastro's to order the ketchup. I go to order the steak. Tonight, our guys wanted steak. Paul George staking his claim to a 3. The Clippers up 13. Another deep triple for George. Second time he's scored 20 or more points in a postseason half with the Clippers. He's done it now for the 12th time overall in his career. He had 31. Let's go 7 minutes left in the fourth. Jazz down 11. It's Spider driving, and you can see he avoids putting pressure on his right leg, and he actually waves to come off. You can see, there's a hitch in the get-along there. He finished with an even 30. Second Jazz player ever to go for 30 in 5 straight playoff games. Could have gone for more, but couldn't go, period, the rest of the way. Arm around Quinn Snyder. They're going to need him in Game 4 and beyond. For now, it's Kawhi, a triple. He had 34 points. First time out of the bubble where Kawhi and George each go for 30 in a playoff game. Steve Ballmer.
Kawhi and Paul George both scored north of 30. Together, they combined for 65. So it's the 4th time that a Clippers pair has been able to do that. Kawhi and George, though, were 2 of those 4. Also, as a Clipper, Kawhi's 3rd playoff game with at least 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. That is already one more than the rest of the franchise combined ever. And then on the other side, you had Donovan Mitchell, who put up 30 but was also under pressure a lot. It also worked. The Clippers doubled Mitchell 16 times. The Jazz shot 39% on those plays, and they turned the ball over 3 times. And that is where we start this morning with Monica McNutt with a much more efficient Clippers defense. What did you see from the Clippers in Game 3 that just might be able to carry over into Game 4?
Good morning, Briscoe. Well, immediately, first quarter, you could see that there was an intentionalness about being physical with Donovan Mitchell and the rest of the Jazz squad. Donovan Mitchell was held scoreless from the field in that first quarter, and that was part of the pressure that Kawhi was putting on him. You mentioned that 16 different double traps. In addition to that, I think you saw a concerted effort to move the ball and attack with confidence from Paul George in particular. The one thing that I will agree with him in his post-game comments is shooter shoot to get hot and shooter shoot to stay hot. So you saw much more efficiency across the board. Zubac, Batum, the entire game was much more locked in and cohesive as a unit. And I really think it started on the defensive side of the ball for them.
We get a Game 4 between those 2 teams tomorrow. You can see that. Speaking of a Game 4, we get one of those today between the Bucks and the Nets. If the Bucks are going to make a stand, who not named Giannis or Chris Middleton needs to step up? Don't answer that now. That's coming up in a little bit on SportsCenter AM.